Hey, it's Ronnie. I am home after work. Mailbox. Yeah, it rained this morning. It rained last night. I ain't complaining. I got 1.5 inches in the last 3 days for snowflakes, this many. And it's water, it falls from the sky. It's called rain snowflakes. Whew. And now the sun's coming out. There's a chance of thunderstorms at night, but they say they're kind of breaking it. But them clouds are dark. I wish they'd bump up. I bet if looking over there, I said, you look out to the east of my place, they're kind of jamming together. That's where it usually starts. Just the last week, the weather formations were starting out west, kind of and bunching together. They'll get rain in Iowa tonight, I'll guarantee you. I might get some, but it's looking like it's breaking up more than it's bunching together. It'll be 100 miles away as a crow flies. Okay, mailbag time. My mailbox is right there on the corner of the road. I don't know if you can see it. The sun's in my eyes. I'm trying to point it that way. If you can see the mailbox, it's on a kind of over the hill, AO, from the wrong direction. If you get your mail, these farmer people, if anybody's farming and watching, you pull up your mailbox after work, you grab your mail, get the hell off the road, and pull in your driveway. Then look and see what you got for mail. Don't sit there over and over on the road, open your mailbox, and then look through your mail and shit when there's vehicles probably going to be coming by. Get it? All you have to do is put it back in arbors or forward and drive in the driveway. Then take your time and look through your crap. This is what I got today. Invesco. That is my 401k. That had at one time before the crash, $32,000 in it, and then it went down to when the crash hit, it went down to $6,000, and I pulled $5,000 out and left $1,000 in it, and I had to take a 30% hit on pulling that $5,000 because I wasn't retiring. But yeah, $5,000 went, and I made some money on that. So it started $1,000. It was up to like $1,700. I bet it's down to $1,100 now. I don't even want to look. It don't matter. That's just throwaway money that I got hosed out of. But at least there's a little left. This is the part for the key eraser. If I need it, I'm not doing unboxings to open it. It's just another selector switch in case that one was bad. Here's the master. Oh yeah, let me show you first. There's the BMW. Oh, and there's my tire for this pickup. I said, nobody even carries a tire anymore. There's my tire I'm going to change tomorrow. Put on my pickup because the sidewall was blasted from something made a little tiny hole, look like, but it's actually like the size of my little finger through the sidewall. Yeah, and it won't, I could patch it from the inside, but that's not even safe at 55. No way. There's the new tire, courtesy of Walmart. The last one is this one that did kind of had the same thing happen. No, this side just exploded, but something went through it. It was like NASCAR coming out of turn 3 and poof! I could hear it, but it was pouring down rain, so I drove it flat for 1.5 miles home. And yeah, it was easy to get off the rim. The other side will be, it's leaning sideways, just flat. There's a tire. Well, the last one was $78 a year and a half ago. This one's $138 now, the same exact tire as that one. Yeah, thank you, Bite Me and you snowflakes, for voting the communists in. See what you get. Alrighty. You're welcome, Ronnie. We hate you because you tell the truth. I know, I love it. Ew. BMW's still sitting there, my bike, with the major freaking fuel leak that ain't just a leak, it's shooting out all over. I got to get out. Okay. It's under the freaking recall, and the rear, they call it a rear hub flange that only idiots break those if you're really hard on it, is recalled too. The total recall is 7, really, so that's 5 and 2. For you snowflakes, it's, don't know, 7 pieces, including O-rings, fittings, fuel pump, the flange, new lock bolts, I guess, for the hub when they put them on, special ones. Out of the 7 pieces, now this has been 10, 12 days, but okay. I believe I got notified them Tuesday before, I think like the first well, it'd be June 30th or something when it took a dump. I got a hold of them. This is what, 8th? Okay, 4th of July weekend, took a day off. Yeah, you know, federal people. Oh yeah, and then there was that Juneteenth crap. Give feds another holiday while us work and don't get squat out of it. And I didn't get no mail that day either. But yeah, there's the bike. I ain't got the bags pulled off yet. It's still sitting there. Because I'll get after it. I'm going to have to move it because I got to work on the Accuator racer this weekend. And I'm going to have to use this half of the garage. So I'm going to pull the boxes and everything off and stash them. I'm going to put it back in that shed, push it by hand. It's not easy when it's that tall and you're all by yourself. I weigh 180. That bike with the bags and stuff off is 470, 480, clear full of fuel. Yeah, but I'll get it up the hill. Don't worry. Otherwise, I'll move it out, work on the Kia, move it back. But yeah, 7 pieces, including the O-rings, 2 major pieces, freaking fuel pump and the rear hub flange, rear wheel hub flange. Main 2 pieces, and they need 5 more. Well, guess what? 2 minor pieces showed up in 10 days. The major ones never showed up yet. 10 days, 2 pieces out of 7, so that average is going to be maybe middle of August. They'll have all the parts, and then I can get a hold of BMW roadside assistance and have them take it up there and have them fix it. There you go. But yeah, I said problems getting parts. Now here's the kicker. I said the Kia has, I hope it's just a, well, it's got 480,000 miles on this transmission, and it says it's throwing codes that has an electronical problem in a transmission with a certain solenoid. Solenoids are electric things like this little guy. They actually sit in oil and everything, but they don't short out because there's a certain way they ground them and run it through a computer. And this one is not a 5-volt solenoid. The solenoids in this 98 Kia all run at 12 volts. Full horsepower. The newer stuff all runs with computer controls and sensors right at the deal, and they use a drop down, you know, and they're running 5-volt signals. This still runs a 12-volt signal, but this is not a normal solenoid. The solenoid that's throwing the code is this one, and it says it's the pressure regulating solenoid. If it's the first, second gear solenoid, third, fourth shift solenoid, or a clutch lockup solenoid, when the computer tells it to go, it just puts juice to it straight, and it goes pop, and pushes a little valve, and then it locks up the torque converter if it's a TC, solenoid. If it's first, second, if it shifts, if it's closed, no juice to it, it's in first. Gives it juice, goes one way. Pushes the valve, then it goes into second. Same thing with third and fourth. Close third, computer says push juice to it, boom, fourth gear. This is, and they're not inexpensive, nothing's inexpensive. But yeah, this one, what I bought this for, I got through Rock Auto for $89, but any auto parts store, if they could get it in 3 days, around the same brand exactly. And this is date coded on it, and I already looked, it's only 4 months old. It ain't being around forever, you know. This is a $165 little solenoid. It's a major solenoid. It's called the TCP. Transmission, no, TPC. I knew I'd get it wrong. My brain runs too fast, and I'm sweating like a big dog right now, because it's like 96 dungarees out here, and then the humidity is 90%. I'm just sweating like a dog. But I want to explain. This is a different, it's not just an on-off solenoid where it pushes up, moves a valve, closes off in a transmission, all electronic. This one is basically, this solenoid is a linear electronic actuator. And people just seem to understand. There's a rod that comes in and out of here, out of this little hole. When this thing is charged up, it puts electricity to it, okay? When the computer says it takes care of all the pressure in the whole transmission, high, low, under load, whatever. So this little thing is moving, this little rod that moves the other valve constantly. I'm talking constantly, juice up, down, and I'll explain that in a second, for 480,000 miles. Okay? Yeah. But that little rod just don't go on or off. This is a linear actuator. Sweat in my eyes. And a linear actuator on 12-volt system, the computer chops up the 12 volts in the transmission control unit only to this one, otherwise just on or off. This one has to move constantly. So it is taking 12 volts and it senses the pressure on the pressure sensor in there, in the transmission on the main AO. And then if the pressure's high, it reduces it, it pulls back a little bit. It don't go clear out or clear in. It back and forth like this. And the way it does it is called pulse width modulation, which in DC means it changed the hertz of the frequency of the electricity going to it. So it turns it on and off a few thousand times a second. I never looked up the hertz on what it runs at. It ain't as fast as my quad. But it turns the voltage on and off, the full 12 volts, on and off fast enough to make it move up here, or turns it off longer to make it move back. And it just does it thousands and thousands and thousands of times every second. So it just keeps doing this. I think it's more. I hope that's it. Yeah, pulse width modulation. Look it up on DC circuits. That's how your computer stuff. And most pulse width modulation circuits are 5 volts. But this don't have a drop down in 98, and it works. I'd rather have the 12 volts for running a pulse width modulation linear actuator, i.e. solenoid. Yeah, we'll find out. I'm going to get after that. All I have to do is drop the pan, which is like 12, 20 bolts, drain oil out, drop the oil, the transmission filter, and it's right up there, and then take it out, 1 bolt, and plug it in. But if this baby works, cool. If it don't, the next thing that could be wrong throwing that code is the transmission control unit box. And they go bad too. I've done a lot of research over the last couple of weeks. Especially at 480,000 miles. Good used ones, low mileage, 100,000 miles, $45. Shipped to my door. But we're going to do this. This is what the code's saying. That's what we're going to do. Wow, I had sweat pouring in my eyes. I need a drink of beer. I just cracked one open. Yeah, it's getting warm while I'm talking. Whew. God bless America. That's what I got going. But yeah, if you get your mail and stuff, get your mail at your mailbox, country people, and then get the hell out of your driveway and then look at what you got. Don't sit on a blind spot, or even not a blind spot, on the fucking road looking at your shit. Get your mail out of the box, get the hell off the road, because other people will need to use the road. Disrespectful people. It's all about me. It's all about me. And then I grab my stuff out of the mailbox, I get the hell in my driveway, and then I come down here. Then I do like this. But yeah, that little puppy word, I said, oh man. Yeah, my little valve. This is make or break on the first idea. Electronic solenoid, they call it the transmission, TPC, transmission pressure control solenoid, but it's actually, this is not a solenoid, this is a linear actuator. It constantly has that rod moving in and out, and it's not a different waveform like AC works. It's on and off, different hertz of the on and off cycle on a square is either on or off, and it makes it move in and out. If this is bad, and I change this, and it still does what it's doing, which I can drive like 6-8 miles, and then it goes into limp mode. I got second gear and first gear. The electronics don't work. You just do it manual. There you go. I can do 40. If I had to, I could do fucking 60. Yeah. Yeah, I thought maybe I had it fixed. It was a voltage problem, and I was running 65 on the highway, and it went from 65 in overdrive, kicked down to second gear. Woo, my motor solid because we were twisting $5,000 for about a quarter mile till I got her back down to 40. Well, I told you the motor's perfect, don't burn the oil or nothing. I wouldn't be playing around if it was worn out. It's awesome. But yeah, this little linear actuator that controls the pressure of the whole transmission. The codes are saying this thing has an electronical problem, and yeah, after all that, I think it's wore out, and it might be getting some oil inside, and shorting the coils, or the coils, just so that the coils get hot and overheat, and then it's kicking the transmission control computer off because it's out of the parameters it's made to work at. Okay, if that don't work, then good use transmission control unit. If that wouldn't work, then there is one O-ring inside that transmission somewhere that gave way and is letting the pressure through. If this is doing and controlling the pressure and it's going wide open, but it's not getting full pressure, the computer's kicking it to get full, but it ain't. Well, then there's a bad O-ring somewhere that finally got a nick or a cut or just, 408,000. Yeah, then I might have to go to a rebuild kit's only $150 for all of it, but I've never done one of these. But I know how to pull a I can get a good used, low mileage, 110,000 mile automatic transmission for like $480 shipped to my door, guaranteed for 30 days. I pulled them. I already showed you my videos. I pulled that. I had to pull a tranny. Yeah, it took me a long time because I got COVID in the middle. I could do it, but hopefully this is the fix. And if that ain't the fix, then the next thing, failure rate numbers, is the transmission control unit, especially at 480,000 miles. This thing's going to make 500,000 miles, hopefully, just by $80 here and there. Alrighty, I said the motor's fine. When that baby decided from 65 in overdrive to kick down to second, this little fart had to be spinning close to $5,000. Like, and oh yeah, wham! Just out of the blue, it did it. Okay, yeah, check the codes. It's this guy. All right, love you. I talked long enough. Stay off the damn road. Get your mail, you country folks, get your mail in the mailbox and get up the damn road and get your driveway that you got right beside you, and then look at your freaking mail. All right, yeah, I'm going to change my tire myself. That's flat on there. I ain't had a chance to get after the Lincoln, the 20-hour job of changing every gasket on the top of the motor. BMW can't do nothing with. 2 pieces out of the 7 pieces they need in 10 days from the BMW dealer. Can't seem to get them, and they were just coming from California. So yeah, there we go. And I'm going to get the tire fixed, and I got to put the gauges in this one. Because, yeah, I removed all the electronicals that were junk that don't need to be there, including what was kind of original on it. Yeah, everything's working fine except no dash gauges. I'm putting my own set of dash gauges in it. That are like the round ones, old school. You used to have in high school when you were 16 and you did your own vehicles back in, all the way back in the 60s till the freaking 80s. It's a cool breeze. But yeah, there you go. That's what's going on. All right, man, it's hot. I got to get my parts stashed where, and keep the stuff in case it's a bad part. And I can test this with my electronical voltmeter. If it, I'm going to trust it's going to work and put it in. And then if it don't, I got to pull it back out. Well, then I will test it with 12 volts and just make believe and use my own Hertz frequency generator to make it go on and off. And I'm sure the old one is on and off so much. It's loosey-goosey and probably seeping something into the coil. Which even if oil gets in there, which all those wires or plug-ins aren't even coated. They're in oil constantly. If you get into the coil itself, that's around that, it make problems. Alrighty. Hey, my milkweed's cool. My monarchs, I can't remember when they're going to show up, but don't kill your milkweed. And I was kind of paying attention because I could only drive 40 miles an hour on the way home. Farmers have stopped spraying the weeds in their ditches now. Apparently, I've got the word out and they keep spreading it. Don't spray your weeds in the ditches unless it's really bad because you're killing all the milkweed and you're killing the monarchs. Oh, I found some big, beautiful AOs, quarter mile long with milkweed growing now, where they used to spray the ditches and they quit. So, hopefully we get more monarch butterflies back here this year. All right, peace, love, have a heart, hold my phone, have a heart. Take care, man. But that's what's going on. My point of view, get off the frickin' road, get in your mail and shit, and then just do what you gotta do and deal with it. Every day's a good day if you find something. I found a lot of milkweed growing, so that means I might see a lot of monarch butterflies this year. I hope so. But it is so hot and miserably humid. Here's what I look like. Ooh, look at this handsome devil right now. Yeah. It's alright, man. It's all good. I'll keep you updated. And, I'll let you know if it works or not, and, I showed you what I do with my other project. I'll show you what happens with that, with the gauges and the tire. You already see me. I got videos changing tires and by hand without machines and stuff, so I'll just give you updates. Cool breeze. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember, you gotta be safe. Take care of you. Be you, but take care of you first, because if you ain't you, you ain't shit. Alright? And there ain't no way you could ever help or learn or take care of anybody else. Dude on the Ag Radio today, big hot shot trader, super hot shot futures trader guy. Expertise, don't even farm, but he has friends that are farmers and stuff. And he was on the radio for an hour talking about the markets and the futures. And he's got 20 screens and fastest computer stuff on the planet. And he could trade in thousands of a second. And explain all that, everything's cool, and then the dude that was there, they were talking together. Okay, we're out of time. Anything you want to tell the listeners? And after all that, and just cool as hell, he goes, yeah, one of my best friends just killed himself today. That's not the way to do it. Don't do that. And the other guy didn't know what to say. Well, I'm really sorry about that. Well, anything you want to say before you go? And he just said, thank you. That's good humans with good common sense. But yeah, shit gets rough, there's help around, talk to people. Don't ever blow your ass away. I've lost 1, 2, I know for sure by suicide, 6, if not, probably 7. If you're feeling down, feeling bad, find someone to talk to. You can't find talk to a pastor, talk to a church, talk to a bartender, anything. Anyone that'll listen and try to get it off. If you're married, if your wife is pissed at you already because things just go find a neighbor that you barely talk to, or just find some stranger at the mini mart. Hey, it's hanging there. Hey, would you like time to talk? I could use a new friend, and I could maybe vent. And would you like to chit-chat? Maybe your age, maybe older, that's sitting there with nothing to do and lonely anyway, that's seen all of that already. Hit them up. Don't blow your damn head off, including ladies. One lady that killed herself, I know, my friend was a lady, so it ain't just guys, all right? Lady killed herself too, purposely. So don't do that shit. All right, peace. Love, have a heart, have a heart. Yeah, and that dude went through his whole spiel and does everything he does because he knows he can't do nothing about it, and his friend never mentioned to him that he wasn't feeling right and things weren't working right. He goes, yeah. Any last words? Yeah, one of my best friends just killed himself today. Don't do that. That's not the way to do it. And you could tell, and I said, anything else? Just, yeah, thank you. Everything he said about how his markets work and all his knowledge didn't mean shit. What the most meant was, one of my friends killed himself today. Pay attention to your friends. Don't let that happen. That's what he meant. You could just feel it. It's on AgriTalk today, the evening show, if you want to look it up on iHeartRadio or somewhere, Spotify or whatever. It's on there. All right. See you later. If shit ain't working right, feeling right, and you're getting down, don't panic.